Look at all these beautiful faces that we've got here for you today. We've got a special training for you here today. These people here on the screen are in my VIP program, and I work very closely with them to help them speed up the results in their business, building their businesses online in whatever they are building, whatever sort of capacity. So welcome to today's training. What we're here to share with you today is modern tips to prospect and recruit people from social media. So we're talking about today, 2022. What works in 2022 is not what worked even last year or the year before or the years before that. The old stuff doesn't work anymore. If anything, it just annoys people. How do you feel when you don't know somebody and they send you that message in Messenger? They friend request you and then you accept, and like a minute later, you've got a message in your Messenger saying, do you want to join me in my business? That stuff just doesn't work anymore. So we are living and breathing sort of this industry and using, modern social media strategies to build our businesses, everyone on the screen. So you can see them here in my order. Hopefully they're the same on your screen. But we've got Laurie Endres, Beth Frederick, Cherie Woodard. We've got Meredith Hutton, Steve McNeil, and we've got Yvette Garrell. So welcome to the screen, everyone. And thank you for joining me today, fellow VIPs. So we're just going to go around quickly and give you each one of our tips that we're sort of using in our businesses to help us succeed. I just want to give you one reminder. Those of you in my online crew coaching community, we just finished an amazing training to help you set up your goals and your dreams and your planning and all the good stuff for 2022. So make sure you go and catch the replay of that training if you weren't on live with us. That'll be emailed out shortly to you guys as well, but make sure you go and catch the replay because that was an amazing training. Laurie and Beth helped me with that training and we just had some really good stuff to share. So, excuse me. If we haven't met before, as in you and I'm your online crew captain. No hat today because I'm in a collaboration here with our VIPs. But predominantly what I do is help home-based business owners leverage, the internet and use modern social media strategies to build their business. So, and these guys I work very closely with to help them in their businesses as well. And we have a lot of fun while we do it, don't we, guys? It's one of my prerequisites. You got to have a smile. You got to have fun while you're building your businesses. And, ultimately our goal is to build businesses that we don't need a holiday from. That we love working our businesses and that we can, as long as you've got an internet connection, you can build your business and, we have fun doing that. So if you are with us live, please say hello. Let us know where you're coming in from. We'd love to say hello back to you guys. So my tip, I'm going to get started and then I'll move on to Laurie regarding modern sort of prospecting and recruiting on social media is all about language. The language you use. And what I mean by language you use is what are you actually saying to people when you're networking, mainly predominantly in Messenger, okay? Most of the messages that we receive from people in this industry after a friend request is something like, I was checking you out. Would you, do you want to look at my business? Like it's just straight in there. If it didn't interfere with anything that you're doing, would you join a business? Like they're straight in there with a message about joining their business. That's what doesn't work anymore, and it actually annoys people. When I get messages like that, it annoys me. How about you? Have you received, I bet you've received messages like that, and it annoys you too. So the language that you use and how you approach people will make all the difference, whether they're listening and whether they are open to what you're talking about or not. So what I recommend you do, and what I do, is one, be respectful enough to be a human before a marketer. Don't send a message in your first message or even second message after a hi with a wave, and then you go into it. Like it's not good enough anymore. People are craving human interaction and connection. People are isolated around the world with COVID. Like it's crap out there for a lot of people, and they're craving human connection. When somebody knows you care, they will care about you back and what it is you have to offer and what it is that you're offering. When it's just a straight off message off the bat, I don't even know who you are. I don't really care who you are. Do you want to join my business? It doesn't sit very well, does it? So when you can say to somebody, hi, look at their profile, actually mention something that they know you've gone and looked at their profile. Oh, I see you live in Australia, or I see you teach social media, or, that's amazing. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you do? Start a conversation and be a human before a marketer. And then use, I can't go into it in this training. I've got a whole training on it in my coaching community called the Recruiting Funnel. Picking up something from their personal profile, making it personable, using somebody's name. How many messages I get without even a hi Helen? It's just a cut and paste message. It's it's really impersonal, and that's not what works anymore. So saying to somebody, I see this on your personal profile, that's awesome. Can you tell me more about, and start a conversation. And then if they're really active on social media, you could say something like, have you ever thought about monetizing your social media and making an income from it? Somebody would probably go, what do you mean by that? You have a conversation, you compliment them, you bring up something that's personable to them from their profile. That's the language that you want to use in this modern day and age, is actually go a step further and look at their profile and mention something from their profile. Then compliment them. Okay, something personal. 1, use their name. 2, something personal. 3, compliment them on something that you've found. Then the next step is to ask a leading question, something like, have you ever thought about monetizing your social media? Because you're really active and you've got great content. They won't even know what you mean. So they're going to ask you, what do you mean by that? It's like, well, one of the things I do is, it could be really beneficial to you, because would you be open to looking at something like that? That's the way to lead in to approaching people about your business, not that one message. Would you look at a business opportunity if it didn't interfere? If any one of you send me another message that says our business is opening up in Australia and you would be awesome at it, first off message, they don't even say, hi Helen, I was looking at your profile, great to connect with you, I see you teach social media, blah blah blah. Start a conversation with me first. So all that stuff that I'm just mentioning, that used to be how we did it years ago, even last year. Don't do it anymore. Raise the standard of the industry, and let's communicate with people and build relationships and be a human before a marketer. Am I a bit passionate about this? Yes, I am, because I'm so sick of receiving those messages where people just don't care. It's just, I don't know who you are. They don't know anything about you. They don't even look at your profile to know what you do. And they're like, have you thought about trading Bitcoin? Anyway, let's move on. I say this with the utmost love because I'm really passionate about people building on social media by being a human before a marketer. I hope that's how you want to build your business. So I've taken up way too much time already. Sorry about that, gang. But let's move on to Laurie. What's your tip for the group today?
Hi, guys. So I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of what Helen was talking about, but personal conversations that lead to business conversations, okay? How do we do that? You make friends, okay? We all know how to make friends. We learned how to do that in kindergarten, and it is no different making a friend online than it would be in person, okay? So you make friends, but one of the key pieces is don't make a friend with an agenda. Just set out to make friends with people. And a good way to do that is Helen has talked in the past about, how we have our 5 core topics, different things that we share on our social media on a consistent basis so that people get to where they know, like, and trust us. So one of the things that you can do is find groups that align with your 5 core topics. One of mine is furniture flipping. I like to do that. Another one is quilting. So I belong to a few groups in there. So you want to find where your people are. What do you like to do? What inspires you? What's fun for you? Go somewhere and find your people. And a good place for that is groups. You can follow different people, whether it's on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or wherever, people that inspire you, that, or even just make you laugh, or they are a good painter or a good quilter. Follow them and interact there. So, and see who else is following them. And then you can, create conversations with them as well. But it's no different online than it is in person. So if I was really into bowling, where would I go? I'd go to the bowling alley. And while I'm there, I'm going to meet people that are bowling, and we're probably going to have conversations there. And chances are 90% of the conversation is going to be about bowling. How do I get my ball from here to there without being in the gutter? Somebody's probably going to provide me some valuable information. I don't know. Maybe I can provide them with some information. But the interesting thing is, as you create those relationships, what usually happens? So are you from here? Or do you live around here? What do you do for a living? Are you married? You got kids? Those conversations tend to be very, very easy and smooth flowing in person. Shouldn't be any different online. So if you can just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. When you're in these places, the bowling alley, the groups, the wherever, provide inspiration, solutions. For me, like in the quilting groups, there's a lot of beginning quilters in there. I know a lot about quilting, so I can get in there and provide some value and some solutions to them. I've created quite a few friends in there. It gets your face and your name in front of a whole nother network. And to grow your business, we have to grow our network. So you got to constantly keep growing your network. And you can do that by going into groups in different places, making friends, having normal conversations, and without an agenda. So the other thing is listen intently when you're having those conversations, because at some point somebody's going to say, oh man, I couldn't quilt today because my back was killing me. I have this stupid issue that just keeps popping, whatever it is. And there's a door. Okay. You still don't want to be spammy about it, but there's a door there. And just real quick, there's a gal that I connected with in one of these groups, and her husband died, just dropped. She's fairly young. They just bought a house in the country. It's a country home group or something. And we just connected. I felt for her with a post that she had put up. So I reached out. I just made a comment on the post. Long story short, her and I are communicating through Messenger, and all I'm doing is listening to her. She needs somebody to talk to. She's depressed. She lost her best friend, and all of those conversations that come with that situation. Have we got to business? Absolutely not. Long time in the future, I think. But she knows who I am. She knows I care about her situation, and she knows that I'm listening. We all have 3 very basic needs. We need to be seen, heard, and loved. So go do that, and your network will grow.
Yeah, a couple of really important things there, Laurie, is always growing your network. If you want to talk to more people about, your products and your business opportunity, you've got to keep growing your network. So it's one of the really important things on social media is to always be growing your network in some way, shape, or form. Friend requesting people, or if you have a business page, a group, or, whatever it is, always growing your network. But being the human before you're a marketer, because people, a lot of this stuff that we're going to talk about today. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. That's why when people send me a message, and a straight business message, it's like, I don't know you, I don't trust you, and I'm not doing business with you. So when somebody takes just a couple of messages, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to stay in the friend zone forever, but just takes a little bit of interest or picks up on something on my personal profile and mentions something specifically. I'm like, oh, I will notice somebody like that. They've gone to the time and, effort of saying something personable. So, you get to know them better. So the know, like, and trust is just key here in 2022. Thank you very much, Laurie. Beth, what have you got for us?
Well, first of all, I think Melvette is in the backstage. We lost her somehow. There she is. And you're muted, Helen. You're muted.
Man, I'm doing everything technology wrong today. You'll get a laugh out of the coaching community training people. Sorry, Melbet, you're on this. Yeah, I can't see you on the screen. You're on the second row, so I couldn't see you there. Good to see you back. Okay, thank you so much, Beth. Carry on.
All right. So one of the ways that what I love to do on social media that I think helps with prospecting and recruiting the modern way is taking people on your own personal journey with telling a story, not showing the products, not sending those messages, the cut and paste thing, not being spammy. I talk a lot about my journey with my weight loss, with my walking journey. And I think when I share my personal stories that it inspires people. And on Clubhouse yesterday, one of the things that Helen mentioned is, why the perfect prospect follows you is because you can inspire them. So by telling my personal story, taking my audience on a journey with me, sharing my ups and downs, whatever I'm going through helps them to relate to me. And they may see some things that are similar in their journey and really resonate with that. And, as Helen said, people that are inspired will follow you. And when they start to follow you and you give out value, whether it be in your content or story-based or your lives, they're going to continue. And then only then is when I can start creating relationships with them. And, as I mentioned earlier, when I share my health journey all the time, sometimes I have no idea who's watching. And I had a friend that I knew, but I didn't know she was watching me. I had no idea. And finally, after several months, she reached out and she said that she had been listening to my story and she saw herself in me in some similarities and then started following me. And every lunch hour, she would tune into my lives. And because I was real, I was honest, I was genuine. And I stayed really positive. And she said that she just loved that and how it made her own day a bit more, positive when she tuned into me because she was going through a really rough time. And she said I helped her. And eventually she asked about the business. And, I'm pretty sure she's going to come on board. So those are the things that can really happen if you tell your story, bring the authenticity into it, bring in your life, bring in the emotion. The things that you share are really meaningful to others. Don't underestimate that. They want to find out the solutions that you have found that have been helpful, whether it's with health or finances, whatever it might be. You have reached some sort of struggle within them or pain point, and you bring some type of positivity and solution to them for them to be able to reach out to you. So storytelling through lives, through content, through your Facebook stories, through Instagram, whatever it is, taking people on a journey is so powerful. And I know I mentioned this to Helen just the other day and said, I post a selfie every single day with my walking journey. And today was 256 days of posting selfies. And I said to Helen, I think it's getting boring. And she reminded me that it might be boring to me, but I'm still taking people on that journey and inspiring them. So it's still pretty powerful. So that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you very much, Beth. I can't emphasize enough how important it is for you to share your story. There's no one like you. That's what's going to help attract people to you, is because there's only one of you. So allow yourself to be you, flaws and all. What I find a lot with working with students in social media is they spend their whole time copying somebody else. They copy their content, they copy their look, they copy their colors, they copy because they don't have a lot of confidence in themselves. They copy somebody else that they admire online. Don't do that. Model somebody, use somebody as inspiration, but make sure you put your own spin on something, and nobody can argue with your story. Your story is your story. No one else has your story. So it's really important to share your story to attract, more prospects to you and have success in recruiting, because you're unique and that's what people love about you. So thank you. Very important, that one, Beth. Miss Cherie.
All right, hello. And my tip today just kind of goes over a little bit of what Helen's already talked about, as well as the other ladies. And but when I think about the way that I started out, the way that I was told to build the way that I was, before we started walking through the stuff we're walking through, home parties and coffee shop meetings and all of those things, and bugging my family and friends really, really drove me crazy because they thought I was crazy. And so it was just very frustrating. So it's not so much that it's about, us and the people who see other people who see them and just see dollar signs. It's about what's in it for that person. What can you do to help that person? What can you do to lift them up? Talking to them, you've just heard, having a conversation, talking to people, and then, I've been having this back pain that's really, and it just opens the door. So finding out what's in it for them is one of the most important things for me. The other thing is respect. Respect is having manners. I was raised with manners. I was raised back in the day. And, you don't just come up on somebody. And I thought about it, several times on, okay, so how would you walk up to somebody? What would you say? Like, because I usually meet no strangers. And I would say, hey, how's it going? Are we going to be in this line forever or what? Or something like that. Whatever is going on, I just kind of I'm like my mom in that way. We just kind of, just start talking. And so does my brother. And it's like, not that we're trying to get something from them, but just the conversation. And we can't do that enough to make people really feel and get that smile and, see that you're real. And of course, most of us are online nowadays. So, it's important to let that come through in your lives, in your posts, and the things that you do for them. And so, that, and I also have concern, showing genuine concern for someone. Like, I think it was Laurie who said, someone's husband passed away. That's really hard. I've lost family members. It's different for us all. It's a struggle. It's hard. It's something that we have to go through. But, it just letting people feel that you really care, allowing yourself to really care, allowing yourself to be able to touch people at the heart level and let them touch you at the heart level. Being able to do those things, to me, actually stops people and they will want to talk to me. Or, if I say something, or I'll say, I'm really so sorry, and I'll, about your so-and-so passing, whether it's father or whoever or whatever, and I'll say who it is. I use people's names. I say, thank you, so-and-so. I don't just say thanks, and I don't just put, likes. I give people hearts. I think everybody's worth a heart. We all need that, and so those are just some of the things that I do that are more, to me, modern. And Helen had mentioned this one day, and because I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't be putting so many hearts or whatever. And she was like, I give everybody a heart, and I was like, okay, cool. So if she's doing it and she's where she is, then, it's no harm for me to do it because it brightens someone's day, just like a smile does. If you smile at someone, they will smile back at you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Cherie. And if you haven't heard of that term before, what's in it for them? WIIFT. WIIFT. Like, write that down. That'd be something that you should always have front of mind. What's in it for them? What's in it for them? What's in it for them? And when you think like that, then you won't go in there with that first message saying, hi, would you join my business? Like, that's what's in it for me from, the other person's, perspective. But again, it's being that, human before a marketer, caring, and just showing respect to people. You wouldn't walk up to somebody who you just met on the street. You just wouldn't do this. You wouldn't walk up to somebody who you've never met before and say, hi, would you join me in my business? So don't do it on social media. It just bemuses me. And I'm not saying, like, some leaders will look at this training or the term attraction marketing and go, it takes too long, just go for the no. I'm like, if that's what you want to do, go float your boat, but that doesn't sit with me. I want to build my business with integrity, and I want to care about people and show them that I've got something to offer them and how it might help them. It's not just, this is an object and this person can help me grow my team. You work out which way you want to build, but there's a massive leader in this industry that still promotes go for the no, go for the no, go for the no. That's what you want to do. As I said, go float your boat, but it's just not what people crave now in this difficult world that we live in. So thank you, Cherie. Melvet, I'm sorry I had you sitting down there. I couldn't see you down there. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I just want to piggyback off of what Lori, Beth, Cherie, and Miss Helen had already talked about. First, I want to say my journey has been from the very beginning I didn't have a sponsor in the very beginning when I started network marketing or online business. So I started this journey with no help at all. And then when I finally found some help, it was all spammy things. I need you to do this, this, and this, and I need you to do it my way. Their way was not my way. I couldn't figure out how to do these things. You know, they were successful in their way, but in my way, I couldn't understand how they was being successful in their way. So they was telling me to do certain things that I didn't know how to do. I would call people at that time with messages, with scripts, you know. But now, since it's a new way of now I'm doing things online, and Miss Helen and my VIP students are really helping me along the way, because like I said, I didn't have no one. I was doing this all on a whim. And I have learned a lot of things. And one of the things I have learned was friend requesting, because you have to build your business. And the only way that you can build your business is prospecting or, you know, getting people into your business. So you have to be able to do friend requesting. And friend requesting can go, they suggest friend requesting when you're on Facebook. You can do those if you like. But if you do it that way, it's just more so than your friends know someone, and it's all in a big old group when you friend requesting that way. You can go in groups, but the best way to do friend requests, I think, is called discovering people in the discovery mode, where you can go and actually search what you're actually looking for. If you're looking for network marketers, or you're looking for people like-minded like you go into discovery mode, discovery feature on Facebook, and you will find people that's in the like-minded like you. You just don't want to just friend request anybody, and you have to actually look at their pages. You know, make sure they have something on their page. They have a picture or something that you can go in there. They have been doing something in there that, you know, that you might like. You know, they might be a good fit for your business. If not, shouldn't just let it go past. So pretty much that's all. I mean, I really have to say about requesting. And that's it.
Yeah. Thank you, Melba. And it's a big part of the prospecting and recruiting on social media is, unless you're really successful already, or you've got a massive network of people already following you, then you need to go and build up your network. And we do that by friend requesting people. We've just got to be mindful of looking at profiles and making sure who you're requesting, or the request coming in, that you don't just accept everybody, that you actually go and look at their profile and see that they have, a face and, a family or something like that, because there are a lot of people that set up fake accounts and just use social media just, for spammy reasons. So just checking all of that out. But it's a big part of being successful with prospecting and recruiting. But if you're a little bit more savvy and strategic about who you're requesting, you'll have more success with it. So very good point there. So on to Miss Meredith. Now, Miss Meredith is, what do we call, the black sheep of the family. Meredith isn't in our industry, but it goes to show that, most things that when we learn on social media, they are adaptable in any industry, and growing a presence, growing a network, growing authority, growing influence, it's all relevant in all businesses. And Meredith specializes in kitty cats. So if you've got a cat and you're a cat lover and you're looking for things for your cat and all things cat and all of the advice around cats, you need to go and look up Meredith, because she's your girl. So what have you got to share with us today, Meredith?
Yeah, thanks, Helen. So I had a little think about this topic from the perspective of what do I post on social media that attracts people to my business? And I've come up with 2 quick tips. And the first one is around consistently using strong visual imagery. So it sounds really obvious and a no-brainer, but my experience is whenever I have a post or content that includes imagery of a cat or cats, then I get much better engagement and people are attracted to my content. So I extend this further, and kind of building on what Beth was talking about, is I actually put content up about my own 2 cats, and that works really well to build credibility, authenticity. It makes me relatable to my target audience, and importantly, it provides social proof of my own lived experience of being a cat parent. So I find that's attractive. People understand that I understand them and I know about cats. So it might be a good opportunity just to think about what it is that might be relevant to you in terms of a very quick, strong visual cue that you could use in your content, and are you using it consistently? The other quick tip that I'd love to give is about being topical but relevant. So we all see on social media lots of trends and challenges and things that people get very excited, and there's a lot of noise on social media. But I've also had the experience where I've been following people and I've seen posts and I've thought, well, that's a bit weird. What's that got to do with what they're about? So I think it's really important to be topical, but to do a bit of a sort of analysis or thinking about how can I make this trend or this topic really relevant to my target client or audience. So I'll give you a great example at the moment in Australia. We've got a lot of food shortages. There's no shelves there's no food on the shelves in the supermarkets. And this also extends to cat food. So, we've heard about looking at groups and hearing about other people's interests and concerns. Well, I've seen a lot of noise about that particular topic, and it's coming from a place of scarcity and I guess fear. And my business is about wellness, feline wellness and well-being. So I've looked at that topic and I've decided to pivot it slightly to make it more relevant and to really add value right here, right now on a topic about, cat food. So I've decided to do some content that talks about how you can make homemade meals for cats that are affordable and that use readily available ingredients. So I'm taking the trend in the topic, I'm showing that I'm, listening, that I'm modern and up to speed, but also making it so relevant for my audience that, they'll stop and they'll have a look and enjoy that content. So I hope that's helped. Thanks, Helen.
Yeah, definitely. It just shows the diversity of social media, because what you're really talking about here is the value of the content that you're putting out there and attracting more people to you through that content and showing more of you, like Meredith was saying, even if it's pictures of her and a cat, that's going to be relatable to people that have got cats. Just in our industry where we're entrepreneurs, where, our own business, basically, what are you showing of yourself? A lot of people don't like, and I'm not a big fan of a lot of selfies and things like that, but we have to show ourselves, and the people that show more of themselves are actually more interesting to people. So if your social media is full of, just quotes and shared content and full of other people, like, everything but yourself, it's going to be hard for you to be relatable. So you've got to be as relatable as you possibly can with what you're doing in your life, what you've got in your life, what you're sharing in your life, and you do that by showing lots of pictures of yourself. So content generally will either attract prospects to you or repel them. You'll find your target market quicker if you're really good with, the content. Content is a whole nother topic, but it's so relevant in finding the right people to do business with is the content that you put out. So very relevant. Thank you, Meredith. Mr. Steve, what have you got for?
Hello. Well, there's 2 things that I want to bring to mind that I've discovered. Number 1, you never have a better opportunity to build a bond than you do when you first meet someone. So what I've noticed is that if I put out a friend request and they accept it, I'll watch and see what those people have to say during the day. And if I notice something that they've said that I can relate to, I would immediately begin a comment. I would either comment, I love that, or I would comment, I like that. For instance, one lady was talking about being not introverted, but extroverted. And then she said she actually is an introvert, but she pretends to be an extrovert. So I told her, well, I'm an introverted extrovert. And then that got the conversation started. And I learned from that. She says, well, then what you actually are is an ambivert, which I've never heard of. But now we've developed a bond. I look for, the second thing I want to mention is I look for things that I can relate to, and I'll look in stories. If I see something, I'll immediately send out a message. I love that, or I like that, rather than just sending a heart. And a lot of times they'll respond to that and start a conversation. So the sooner we begin the conversation, an authentic conversation, the more we will learn and begin to build a bond with that person. So when you first get friends, when you first have friends in your list, start looking and start commenting. They may be the true introvert where they're waiting for you to make a comment to get the conversation started. That's what I have to share today.
Yeah, well, both of those are fabulous, Steve, because it's actually caring about the person. How easy is that? Just if you've got somebody on your radar or your friend requests something, they post something and then you comment, like that's a nice way to introduce yourself to a stranger, rather than somebody friend requesting you and sending you a message about their business where I just go, ugh. Like if somebody approached me, like friend requested me, but then put a compliment on one of my personal profile posts, I'd be like, oh, who is that? I haven't seen that person's name before. They've just friend requested me. And I would go and have a look and I'd be intrigued, versus somebody friend requesting me and sending me that spammy message. So total different way to connect with strangers. The other, what was the second one you said?
Being authentic and looking for things that you can relate to.
No. Yeah, no, I remember what it is. It's specifically stories. You know, one of the best ways, the best modern ways, like this is so topical to everything that we're sharing. Stories gets you straight into people's messenger. All you need to do to build new connections is watch your stories and compliment somebody. So that sort of nails both your points, Steve. Is one, it's a compliment. So somebody sort of, when they receive a compliment, they're like, oh, who is that? I'm not sure who that is. And to see people's stories, for them to see your message, you do have to be friends. So you want to keep sending the friend request, but looking at people's stories and complimenting in stories. And then if they say thank you, you've suddenly started a conversation, which is not friend requesting and then talking about your business, and you never know what that can lead to. So one of the best modern ways to connect with people and network with people is to be in people's stories, because you get in their messenger. So fabulous tips there. Well done, Steve. And at lucky last, we're almost done, guys. I know this is a longer training, but for those of you that are watching live or on the replay, are you getting some ideas out of this? Share with us your thoughts about what you're hearing with these modern tips to build your business. Would love to know what your thoughts are. So, Miss Yvette, take it away.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Okay, modern tips. We say modern, not old. We're not going back. Modern. So now, because it's social media, it's social. What are they looking for? Entertainment, information. They want to be, feel like they're in this amusement park and stuff is just like all over the place and just hitting them here and there because they want to feel good. They're looking for something that can make them their lives a little easier. So what do we share? We talk about valuable content, but this value that exists in the content must be something that resonates with them, must be something that helps them, must be something that provides some kind of solution for something that they're looking for. They're yearning for something and they found it right there. And then there and there, so you build a relationship. Now they say, okay, that lady over there, she gives me what I need. So I'm going to go seek her out. And so you form a relationship. You start having conversation, because what I'm talking about here is how to attract and engage. So we already found a way how to provide for these folks something that attracts them to you. Now you have an opportunity to engage, conversation, listening, and nothing short of what everyone has already said. Through your stories, through different content pieces that you put out there, everything we put on social media appeals to someone, whether in a good way or a bad way. It's content. So everything you put your finger out there, that's content. If you put a smile out there, that's content. Why not make that content so rich, so that somebody's going to be like, take a pause, take a look. Let's see what's happening on the other side. Let's see who did this, who posted that. So modern ways of getting people to connect and to engage with you on social media is to seek out, what are they looking for? What are they looking for? There is a reason why they come there. First of all, they want to see what you're all about, the social side of it. Okay. And so we have to remember to embrace that side of it. Yes, we want to put our business stuff out there and so on and so forth, but that's not going to work. What's going to work is when we build the relationships, when we have the conversation, when we try to find out what they're looking for, meeting their need, make their life a little easier. For example, they love step-by-step instructions, little things you do in your home, maybe something that was seemed difficult and you found an easy way to do it. You're like, this is what I did. Oh, because I couldn't open up my jar, right? So what did you do? You went to Walmart, you bought one of those little jar opener, and the first thing you did was you set it over there, you twisted it. So little things that made their lives easier. They want to make that connection. So they know you, oh, well, I'm going to go to Walmart or Target or wherever, and I'm going to get that little device because that's going to help me to open up the jars when my hands get weak. And that's just one example off the record there, but we're in business. So our content that we put out there, our content should really put out there to help these people to discover something, make something that they probably didn't know, or to reinforce something that they already know. So we inform them, we entertain them, we educate them, we get them in the amusement center. We allow them to feel good about themselves. If you allow them to feel good about themselves, they're going to feel good about you. They're going to follow you, and they're going to be in your audience, and then now you won't miss them because they're going to seek you out. Have the conversation. And then, of course, because the conversation requires a twofold, it's a dialogue. They listen, you're listening, and they are commenting. The comments, the like, the share, the emojis, all of those are spoken words on social media. And how do we listen to those spoken words? We got to go back and follow up and see what they're saying to us. Oh, they like this, they didn't like that, they question this, they question that. So our job here is a modern way, because sometimes when in the traditional way you meet someone, you talk about stuff, and the person leaves and goes away. On social media, you can always go back and you find those persons in your profile or on their profile. You can have the conversation, you can talk with them, and you can listen to them, because what they put on paper is what they're actually saying to you. So social media, keep it social, keep it fun, keep it interesting, keep it alive, continue to build the relationships, have the conversations, and help people. That's what I have to say. And I have my voice.
Yeah. No, you've done great. Thanks, Yvette. And so much is said there. I think, the foundation of everything that we're sort of sharing here today is about building relationships, and it's about building that know, like, and trust factor and the content that you put out there. And really, in this modern day and age, we shouldn't be trying to, sell our businesses or products to anybody who doesn't have a need. And that's your job, to establish the need. So how do you establish the need? You ask questions, you make friends, and you ask really good quality questions and leading questions. That's the modern way to build our businesses. It's not friend requesting and then sending that first message that's, do you want to get into my business? It just turns people off. It doesn't work very well anymore. I just feel like writing back and say, how's that working for you? That strategy, because it's not what people are craving anymore. Like people need, they want the relationships, they want the friendship, and they will take far more notice of you if you take that little extra step and, you know, compliment them or get to know them or highlight something from their profile and ask them some questions without interrogating people. There is a fine line. You're just trying to establish, do they have a need for what you want? You know, when those people that are still sending those messages, it's like they haven't bothered to find out whether the person even wants what they have. You just got to ask a few questions to find out whether there's some kind of need there. And if not, you don't go there. That's the modern way to build our businesses. So I just want to thank all my amazing, it's not all of them, but all our amazing VIPs here that I work with closely. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. We're all building businesses online, so these are all very relevant tips that are here and now that we're using in our businesses. I hope you got something from that, or it reinforces, you know, to you to be a human before a marketer and just build a bit of a relationship. I'm not saying get stuck in the friend zone and you've got a million friends on Facebook and you're not getting any results in your business. You have to learn the difference of, you know, the right questions to get where you want to go. You know, that's a conversation for a different day. But thank you to those, if you just want to come off mute and say goodbye, and thank you to those that have stayed online. And yeah, and so thank you to those, and I hope that you got something out of this training, and we will catch you next week for more great training. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.